All right, so we are working on the exercises for this lesson, finding the perimeter and area of each parallelogram. Notice we've assumed some things here that you should already know. Okay, we've assumed some things that you should already know. This book goes in a certain order. This is chapter 8 in the book. And so there's some things in here that they're assuming that you should. I'm sorry, chapter 10. This is chapter 10 in the book, not chapter 8. This is chapter 10 in the book. And so there's going to be some assumptions about things that you should know, and you may not know those things. So we're going to make those corrections on those things right now. Let's start with an easy one, though. We're going to start with this first one here. We've got 8, 8, and 10. So this whole base right here. So find the area, base times height. The whole base is 18. The height is 16. So 18 times 16. And that's going to be the area. Notice this tells me to find the perimeter and the area. Perimeter is the distance around. Okay, so this whole side is 18. But I don't know this side right here, which would be the same as this one. Since it's a parallelogram, this opposite side is also 18. So I need to find this missing side right here. Okay. To find that missing side, I'm gonna switch to red. I'm gonna look at this right triangle right here. Something that we've done before, something that you've done before is called the Pythagorean theorem. We're gonna do some more Pythagorean theorem later this year. But this right triangle that's sitting right here, I've got this right triangle right here. I've got two sides. So if I'm looking at just that right triangle by itself, notice this side is 8, this side is 16. I'm trying to find that. The Pythagorean theorem looks like this: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, so that means the a and the b are the two legs, the 8 and the 16. The c is going to be the hypotenuse, which is the one that is opposite the right angle. So that's the unknown. In this case, we're going to go 8 squared plus 16 squared equals this unknown side. I'm going to put an x right there, x squared. I could have left it as c squared if I wanted. I'll put an x though. 8 squared plus 16 squared. Grab my calculator here. Turn it on. Come on. Clear. So 8 squared plus 16 squared is 320. So 8 squared plus 16 squared is 320. Okay, and then to get rid of the squared, we're going to do the square root of both sides. So the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 320, I'll have to use my calculator for that. To get to the square root key, we hit the second key, and right above the x squared key, you see that little square root, and we'll do 320. Hit enter, and 17.88. So if I round off, 17.9. Okay. All right, so now I've got this missing side is 17.9. So now let's find the answers to these two questions. First of all, the area, 18 times 6. Let's go ahead and do that one. 18 times, 16, not 6. 16 is 288. And it's an area problem, so that'd be feet squared. The perimeter, I need to add up all four sides. We know that one side is 18, one side is 17.9 we found. Next side is 18, and then the last side is 17.9. So we need to add up those four sides. So 18 plus 17.9 plus 18 plus 17.9. There's the four sides, and I get 71.8. So this last one here, 71.8, and it's a perimeter, so we're talking about lengths, we're talking about feet, how many feet around it is. And that's the answer to number 1. That was a lot of work, wasn't it? All right, let's do number 2. Number 2, now there is specifically one thing that you have not learned yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and give this to you. Hopefully on the worksheet, I've already corrected this, but if I haven't, I apologize. There's some trigonometry stuff that you'd have to know in order to work this problem out. And so I'm going to do the trig, so you can just ignore me. In fact, maybe I should just pause the video. Let me just pause this video and do the trig. Let me pause it. I'll do the trig, and so in just like 1 second, it's going to be like magic. You're going to have the answer. Shazam. There it is, right? Just appeared there. All right, so There's some other math that you have not learned yet. You will learn it before the end of the year, how I found the side right here, this height right here, this 20.8 inches. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work this out. That's the only thing that you needed, okay? So let's find the area. Area equals base times height. So 24 times 20.8. Grab my calculator. And let's clear this thing off. Clear 24 times 20.8. And I get 499.2. So the area of this is 499.2. It's inches, so it'd be inches squared. The perimeter is all four sides added up, which this one's actually kind of easy. This line means this is congruent to this. So all four of these sides is 24. So I could do 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24, or I could do 24 times 4, since all four sides are exactly the same length. That's what I'm going to do. 24 times 4 is 96. So I end up with 96 inches for the perimeter. And there is the perimeter, and there is my area for number 2. All right, now we're ready for number 3. Number 3, we've got all four sides the same, 1.6, 1.6, 1.6. The perimeter is going to be pretty easy on this one again. They're all the same, so I'm going to do 1.6 times 4, since all four sides are the same. 1.6 times 4, and I get 6.4. Yeah, 6.4. 1.6 times 4, 6.4 centimeters is the perimeter. The area is the base times the height, right? So the base, in this case, 1.6, and the height is 1.6. So base 1.6 times the height, 1.6. So 1.6 times 1.6, and I get 2.56. Rounding to the nearest tenth would be 2.6 centimeters squared. That is my area. All right, so these take a little bit longer, so I'm going to divide this into a couple of separate little videos. That way it's not just one big long video, so you can pick up where you need the help with it. Hopefully this is helpful to you, and we'll do the next 3 parts of this, or we'll do the second half of this. I'll do the next 4 questions in the next video.